just end the season in the league. But honestly, they could have went a lot worse. This Liverpool team is not as good as we think. Like, they're not as good. And that kind of bothers me because we're somehow worse. But the thing is with Liverpool, they spent 500 million and they were champions last year. And now they're like, what, fifth, sixth? They might go sixth, they might go fifth. And it's just terrible. Like, it just shows the regression of both teams. And especially today, Liverpool only had Rio, who was like their actual like proper winger on the wing in attack. That Gakpo was striker who did nothing. That Frimpong was a right wing back at right wing, and Sabozda who's good I like, and he did nothing. He was marshalled, but I will give us credit. We played really really well, especially that first half. The end from that first after Liverpool scored till the end of that first half, we played really, really well. Second half, I feel like we didn't go for it much. We let Liverpool kind of take control of the ball. I don't know if that was because we're either tired, we're waiting for next week because of the final, or it was just, we just felt leggy and it wasn't happening. Thing is with us is that we we had no wingers. We had players missing also. Not as much as Liverpool, but we had no wingers. So Cucurella basically had to play left wing, and credit to him, he could have got a few shots off. He could have actually scored a few goals if he was playing and if he was an actual winger. But he's not. He's a left back, and I will say for the opportunities that he did get, he did quite well. I liked how Enzo and Caicedo kind of played. Caicedo especially playing those long balls through to João Pedro and Cucurella. They made their chances. João Pedro also, the dribbling there in between the pockets was actually really really good. He should have done a lot better with the shot that he had towards the end of the game. Enzo did well with the goal that he scored with that free kick. I didn't expect it to go in, but that shows the state of the game. The goal that Liverpool scored was also kind of fluky because how did Jorgensen not save that? I've already given up on that guy. I hope he also gets sold. There was no Sanchez today because of concussion. Jorgensen stepped in. Outside of that, man, he did make a good save though for Van Dijk's header in the second half, but his performances went throughout the window after that PSG game. Otherwise, I can't really say much. I can say a credit to the defense also. Colwell, back after like a whole, he's been out for 9 months, and he came back today, and he's probably our best centre back, and that kind of shows. No Chalobah today, and we played really really well. Is that like a slight on Chalobah? Maybe, but Fofana did quite well today for what he had. Hato has been really really good. The back three kind of worked for us a little bit. Um, I feel like it kind of made sure that we were kind of balanced in defense, but in attack, obviously, like I said, we kind of lacked without the wingers that were able to kind of attack the wings. We had Palmer and Enzo who played more centrally and had to drive in. We obviously know that Enzo is not a player that dribbles a lot. Palmer did quite well in a few bits here and there, but largely kind of disappointed as usual. I do think that he needs to miss the World Cup. I don't think he can play for England in the World Cup. I think not because England have better players. I just think that Palmer's performances of the last 6 to 8 months haven't been good enough to warrant a place in the World Cup squad. But the rest of them, they played quite well. Like I said, Caicedo. We only made one change today. Also, that's also due to the lack of players that we have in attack and in midfield. Reece James came on. I feel like he did well with the passes. We also could have had a penalty. I will say the Frimpong challenged João Pedro in the box. I do think that if that was Liverpool, they probably would have got it, but not our day today. It ends up 1-1. We move on to the final next week. That is the last chance. I think that is one of the last chances we have to get some form of Europe, unless we can somehow sneak in that sixth place and Villa win the Europa League. But it's all on next week against Man City in the FA Cup final. Will we do something? I don't know, but we will see. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And